Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is the AEW Dynamite review for August 27th, 2020. And I'm joined by Abhishek Aneja, aka Abby Maniac. What's up, Abby?
I'm absolutely fine, Supreet. How about you?
I'm doing good as well.
Um yes, I guess I enjoyed Dynamite. There were many, you can say, developments on the show with regards to many of the stuff, and we had to see that how will AEW follow up with regards to the, you can say, crowning of a new TNT champion in the, you can say, the personification of Brodie Lee and the booking of the Dark Order forward.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a good show, but the main thing to look forward to was the return of the fans.
Yes, that also absolutely. I agree.
But to be honest, it didn't make a lot of difference here because you can't tell in a open arena like Delhi's place if there are fans or not. But at the end of the day, everything worked out pretty well.
Yes, yes, I agree. It can be, you can say, step a step towards normalcy if they, you can say, make up a relationship or have some kind of you can say a relationship or have some stadium or an arena being booked for future shows, so there we can have real fans, so it may amplify and a bit more on television, so that could enhance our viewing experience. So it was a step forward, you can say, with regards to the fans.
Yes. And by the way, who needs a Thunderdome when we got real fans?
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. We do not need LED boards and virtual fans. That is just fucking shit. And many things just then we also got to know that WWE was giving directions to the people as to how they should react. I mean, what the fuck? That first you should, you can say, wait for a certain time that you will get a booking for a set time that you will be able to experience the Thunderdome. Then you are being asked to react a certain way for the superstars or for the said superstar. I mean, what the fuck?
That's
Just
that's the current situation with WWE. So let's get to Dynamite. A good
yes,
start.
absolutely.
So
Please hurry up.
yeah, we had the tag team gauntlet match to decide number one contenders for the world tag team titles at All Out, and we also had MJF and John Moxley. So they had a contract signing for their match at All Out. Excuse me. And the main event was Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guvera in a tables match, and so much more. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slam of Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. So before we get into the show, I wanted to inform the viewers that stay with us till the end because we will be doing predictions for All Out.
Yes, absolutely. We will be.
So the show begins and we start with the gauntlet match. So they had placed the tag teams according to their ranks. Number one ranked team comes out last. So before the match begins, Chris Jericho comes out to join the commentary. Fans start singing to Judas, which was Something refreshing to hear.
Yes, yes. That was like heaven on earth.
Back to the match. So overall, this went about 20 plus minutes. Young Bucks versus Natural Nightmares begin. Quick exchanges early on by Nick and Marshall. Dustin and Matt did the same. So elimination came when Marshall missed a handspring. Bucks get rid of Rhodes. They hit the BTE trigger on Marshall for the elimination. Best friends were out next. So story here was Chucky T tweaked his knee here, but both he and Trent had a strong showing against the Bucks. So finish saw Bucks going for the Meltzer driver, but out comes Hangman Page, grabs Nick by the leg. Trent with a surprise roll up on Matt, and that was it. So final team was FTR. They jump the fence and go straight after Chucky T's injured knee. So this was mostly one-sided. Finish saw Harwood had a knee bar on Chucky, who surprisingly tapped out, and that was it. FTR win, and they'll be facing Hangman and Omega for the titles at All Out. This was a good gauntlet match, and your prediction did come true. The
Yes.
one thing noticeable was that the Bucks and FTR had no interaction, and the involvement of Page was a big deal as well. So we will talk about it later. What did you think about this match and FTR winning?
Uh, FTR winning was, yes, as you said, my prediction, and it is great that they are going for the tag team championship against Omega and Page at All Out. And it also adds to the intrigue that what is going to happen with Adam Hangman Page with regards to his friendship with FTR. So basically, will he also betray Omega? That is also a question. So it is a great, you can say, intrigue with regards to the match. And what happened here, the tag team gauntlet was great. A great, you can say, concept gauntlet is obviously. And the whole scheme, how they went with it, was great. As the first match, Young Bucks versus the Natural Nightmares with Ali. And the thing with Ali, in the last review, we said many things against Ali and we made fun of her. So I would like to apologize that if Ali got offended, I am very sorry for that. And it was just our opinion. So that is it. And also, we didn't get, you can say, how the fuck that she got transitioned from being an ally of Butcher and Blade and then just got with the Natural Nightmares. There was no explanation for that also. So what the fuck was happening with her character and what happened basically, there was no explanation. So basically, what? So the thing is, don't be offended. It was just our opinion. And for this match, she was in the best position. Long and long, you can say, far away from wrestling in the ring. That's the best position for
Okay.
her right now. And this match, first match, Young Bucks and Natural Nightmares was a solid match. And in the end, as you said, that the Sasuke special attempt proved fatal for QT, and Dustin's age and exhaustion came into play to the detriment of him, as he was unable to break the pin attempt on QT after Bucks hit the golden or the BTE trigger on QT for to secure the win basically. And also there was a picture perfect Canadian destroyer code red by Dustin Rhodes in the midst of the match somewhere. That was also brilliant.
Correction,
And both
correction, correction. Jericho said it was a Texas driver. Sorry, Texas destroyer.
Texas destroyer. My bad. But the thing is, you have to give PT Williams that move. Yeah, that is just bad if you just throw it around and associate it with the person that he is doing that. Please give homage to the person that who invented that move. So PT Williams, it is the Canadian destroyer. Yes, your move is being used as candy now. It was a finisher at one point, and now it is just another move being used just here and there in the indies and even at now major shows. It is what it is. Texas driver. Yes, now it is the Texas driver. Okay. Texas destroyer. Beg your pardon. And then the next match we had the Bucks versus Best Friends. Best Friends in 2020 had a 14 and 4, you can say, statistics win and loss record. Chucky T hit his left knee at one point of the bout. Jericho put over the Best Friends and their storyline right now with Proud and Powerful LAX in the initial part of the match. That is also great. That is fine. Best Friends were dominating the Bucks in the match. As the Bucks, they were showing signs of exhaustion and wear and tear from being in the ring for a very long time. And there was one move, a great tornado DDT counter by Trent to the loco motion Northern Light suplex of Matt Jackson. That was also very much exquisite, you can say. And the main point was Hangman Page. He caused the Bucks to lose when they were about to hit the Meltzer driver. The fuck. But yes, I am happy because the Bucks lost. Basically, I want the Bucks to lose at any cost. Best friends get the victory via the roll up. Hangman had the guilt in his eyes. Commentators were saying about that. The guilt in his eyes for betraying his friends, and a great probability is that he was brainwashed by FTR to do the deed basically, courtesy of his recent budding friendship. It might be, it could be, it might be, or there was something else that that basically he doesn't want to lose the championship. As the last match they had with the Bucks, it was just too close. Omega Page versus the Bucks was too close at Revolution. It was too close and it was phenomenal. And the last was FTR versus Best Friends. FTR taking full advantage of the injured knee of Chucky T, relentless attack on the knee, and assisted top rope kick to the injured knee. We have seen FTR doing that in WWE, in NXT, and then a reverse knee lock, a knee bar, a figure four sort of maneuver by Dax. It got them the W, basically via submission. Tully Blanchard was also there at ringside, sporting the FDR jacket, and he also had a role to play in the match. He is not a prop. He is not a prop of a manager. He does stuff. FTR win, and now they are about to face the champions Omega and Page at All Out, and probably they are going to win the championships.
Yeah, we will be talking about it in the predictions.
Hmm.
Next was Lance Archer versus Sean Maluta. So, if anyone didn't know, Sean Maluta was in NXT and Evolve Wrestling.
Mhm. He is maybe related to Roman Reigns and somehow.
Yeah, he is in the Anoy Samoan family.
All right.
So, this was a squash match. No surprise here. Archer wins with a blackout followed by the EBD claw. Post-match promo from Jake Roberts. He said that Lance Archer will be part of the Casino Battle Royale at All Out, and said, how he's gonna be tossing 20 other men over the top rope. Robert said this one win will wipe that one blemish on Archer's win-loss record. They then are interrupted by Team Taz as they make their entrance. Roberts calls all three of them the Flintstones. Taz on the mic, he mentions how he and Roberts have never crossed paths. Taz said that his Murder Rock monster will not be winning the battle royal. Instead, it will be either Ricky Starks or Brian Cage. Darby Allin then comes out on his skateboard, went straight after Ricky Starks, and they brawled to the back. Meanwhile, Cage and Archer were looking for a fight as we get "let them fight" chants from the crowd. Roberts and Taz were holding their men back, and that was it. So this segment was basically to showcase the competitors of the Casino Battle Royale, and we were
Hmm.
predicting that Cage and Allen will be having some sort of singles match at All Out, but it looks like they're holding it down for now.
Hmm. Yes. And it also seems that our words with regards to the FTW championship have gone to them, because now it seems that FTW championship would be, uh, you can say, in between, when Archer and Brian Cage would be fighting amongst one another
Mhm.
in the near future. It seemed like that, if the last scene of the said segment is to be believed. And it was the match, utter domination, great comeback for Lance Archer to AEW television in the ring, because we have only seen him in vignettes and in backstage segments with uh, Captain No Charisma, Alex Marvez,
Yep.
and here and there. Lance Archer is a phenomenal talent. We have discussed about him many a times in our reviews. So it is great. Post match promo made it even better. That yes, Archer is a wood chipper. He gets interrupted then by Team Taz. They tease Archer and Cage for the FTW championship. Darby comes to the party, takes out Starks. Basically, now Starks and Darby Allin would be happening soon, as we have talked about that. And they go brawling to the ramp and beyond. So now, next, it would be basically Starks and Allen and Archer and Brian Cage. Archer and Brian Cage have the same, you can say, body build and the character, that both are powerhouses. It will it will be a great, you can say, a great build. Also, they both have mouthpieces who can talk and who can sell their match. So I am excited for what is about to happen in their feud.
But who do you think loses in this situation? Because both are equally a dominant monster heel type characters.
Yes, I agree that that is the excitement, or you can say that is the unpredictability right now, that who will win and who will lose. And if they go with something that how will someone lose, that is the main intrigue there.
Yeah, yeah.
But the fact that if they are building such a match, it is great. That yes, there's a championship. There are two people who are legit, and it is happening. How will they go about it? That is their problem now. We will see it throughout their build to the match.
Next, we had a video package for Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. We see guys like JR, Shivani, and NWA's own Billy Corgan putting over this match. We see both women signing the contract for their match at All Out, and that was it.
Yes, it would be, you can say, a match to see. And I guess so. No, that would be a part of the prediction. So I would hold it right now. The thing is, yes, I am excited, and there was also a point that NWA and AW would be working together. There was a point from one of the guys in the said video package. So it is a great thing that both the promotions are working together in some shape or form. So it is a great thing because both the promotions have a great set of talents on their respective rosters. So if they work together in some shape or form, it would, you can say, translate to great television and a treat for the fans.
And did you notice this? So, this technically AEW and NWA are having some sort of partnership. NWA is also somewhat affiliated to Ring of Honor, who have a partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So,
Yes.
you could be seeing some sort of territory forming here.
Mm-hmm. There very well could be. I, I can see that. I can see that.
Um, Talking about contract signing, we had the contract signing between MJF and John Moxley. So MJF came out with his campaign workers. Moxley was next. He had the contract with him. Both men take their seats. MJF's spokesman reminds us that the paradigm shift will be banned in their match. Yeah, so MJF signs first. MJF on the mic, he said, there have been million contract signings in pro wrestling, and 10 times out of 10, it ends in physicality. But as much as he wants to smack Moxley's sly grin off his face, he won't do that right now. MJF jokes how he appreciated Moxley practicing social distancing, just like his hairline. Moxley responds he too will get there one day after he somewhat hits puberty. MJF said he thought Moxley was a one trick pony but said he's really damn good. He mentions how Mike Tyson once said he doesn't want to be in a dark alley with Moxley and calls it a quote unquote powerful statement. MJF reminds Moxley that at All Out they will not be in a dark alley but instead be in a pro wrestling ring. He then compares each other's wrestling style. He said Moxley used to look up to hardcore legends like the Sandman, New Jack, and Onita. MJF calls it hot garbage, while he said he used to look up to guys like Ernie Ladd, Buddy Rogers, and Tully Blanchard. He questions Moxley on why he does need one big move to beat him, or he is not man enough to beat him without the paradigm shift. He said if that's the case, then he can tell his wife that MJF is single. Moxley had heard enough. The spokesman warns Moxley if he makes one move, he gets sued. Moxley calms down and he said he really doesn't need the paradigm shift. He reminds MJF that taking away the paradigm shift will make him more creative, will make him more creative on how he can hurt MJF. Moxley said MJF's word doesn't matter to him, and on September 5th, he will be a dead man. So Moxley signs the contract as MJF's crew laughs. The spokesman says he will represent Moxley next time. Moxley thanks the spokesman for adding the 70th page. So the smiles are off MJF and his team's face as the contract also stated that Moxley will be facing the quote unquote spokesman next week, where the paradigm shift will be legal. And if the spokesman doesn't show up, then MJF doesn't get the title shot. This was really a good segment. I think stuff like this as what has made this title match must watch, and also the stipulation is a plus factor here. So, what did you think about this?
Yes, I agree with you with regards to the uh, stipulation being added to the match. And we discussed that because if this were a normal match, singles match, it doesn't, you can say, very well gets the fan invested. So just having a stipulation added, it it gets a little intriguing to watch, and it builds intrigue that as to how John Moxley now would be approaching this match to put down MJF and just get him away from the title picture for good. And having the lawyers and a posse and getting the contract, it's great. It's for the entertainment stuff. The entertainment stuff, it's good. It's good till the point it gets phony or illogical. Till that point, for now, whatever this segment was, it was good, it was effective. With regards to, it was also pointed out that PWI 500 ranked number one for John Moxley, and also MJF's promo was, you can say, just awesome. Whatever he said, the point that Moxley is just a one trick pony. He is just a death match hardcore guy who grew up idolizing and following the art and the legends with regards to that art. Because if we see his work prior to WWE, he was known for that style only, mostly. He was not a wrestler's wrestler at that point. Yes, we have seen now glimpses of him in New Japan Pro Wrestling that he can wrestle his ass off if he wants to. So we can see a great match at All Out. And he compared Moxley to himself, MJF, to that he is a professional wrestler. He studied professional wrestlers. And he reiterated the fact that if you are a professional wrestler, you don't need a paradigm shift to beat me, basically. Come up with something else, basically. So, Moxley at the end, yes, he got the last laugh. Great ending to the segment. Now we have to see the match. Now it is must see. And yes, next week would be a great tune up to see that Moxley hasn't been in a ring for so long. It is just an entertainment segment of sorts. Maybe MJF would be gunning for, you can say, a cheap attack of sorts, and he will uh, put off his neck brace and he will say that, yes, I am absolutely fine. That is about to happen next week. And then it is all out. So it was a great segment to build up a world heavyweight championship match.
Next up, we had Santana and Ortiz. They were talking about the best friends. So they indirectly mentioned that they would have hurt Trent's mom Sue if she was in that damaged van. Basically, they were sending a warning. So both of these teams will be facing off in a match next week.
Mhm.
Um,
That is a great, yes. It was
yeah.
a small and effective promo to build the match, and they have done their bit with regards to, yes, damaging the car and painting it and doing whatever they had to do. And they also mentioned the altercation they had with the segment of Inner Circle and the best friends with Orange Cassidy. They also, you can say, mentioned their rivalry as well, Cassidy and Jericho. So it 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 had everything in that said vignette or promo. So now it is the match for next week. It's great.
So from that we get to a eight-man tag team match. Lucha Bros, Butcher Blade versus Griff Garrison, Sonny Kiss, Joey Janela, and Brian Pillman Jr. Eddie Kingston had a pre-match promo. He said that they are not a faction because these people are his friends from back in the day. He said he's gonna elevate these guys and also elevate himself too. So this went 9 minutes. It was not like a squash match, as the losing team did get the time to do some stuff. So in the end, it was the Lucha Bros with a double team move on Pillman, and that was it. We had a post-match promo by Kingston. He shuts down the fans who were cheering him. He orders the referee to raise the winner's hands. So he predicts that one of his guys will be winning the Casino Battle Royal, and that was it.
Yes, it was basically a showcase for the new group that is being headed by Eddie Kingston. So it was great with regards to their showcase. Yes, I agree. It was basically chaos of an offense, whatever it was happening in the ring. But at the end, yes, the right team won, and Sunny Kiss got a lot of offense in, and basically it was domination by Kingston's men, basically. And yes, it is great. We have to see what happens next. And also, there was a question being posed by many a people online that what would be happening if or when Pac comes back to AEW, because right now there are travel restrictions, and there was a group Lucha
Yeah,
Bros and Pac with the Death Triangle. So what would be happening with that? So that is also a big question.
I think they will be reforming that triangle when Pac does gets back to the states.
Hmm.
So we'll have to wait and see. And you should also consider that Eddie Kingston made it clear that they are not a faction right now.
All right. They are just an alliance,
Yeah.
basically. They're working together. Okay, that's
So
cool.
we get a short recap of last week's main event. Commentator said there is no news on Cody. Jericho commented that Cody should give his 2 week notice and quit the business. So the Dark Order come out, Evil Uno with the mic. The rest of the Dark Order come out with a coffin. Uno said that the Dark Order has been on cloud nine since last Saturday. He said how everyone in the Dark Order is happy. He said Stu Grayson has bought 6 lawnmowers and a Mustang car. They said they bid adieu the man known as Cody. They opened the cascade. They acted like Cody was in the cascade, but instead it was 10 with a nightmare tattoo on his neck. They then put a Nightmare Family jacket inside the casket and lay the Nightmare Family flag over it. Uno said, "The prince has been buried and it's time for a new king to rise." They then welcome Mr. Brodie Lee. Lee high fives everyone except John Silver. Lee forces Tony Schiavone for an interview. Lee goes through the history of the Dark Order, where he said at one point they were a laughing stock until he arrived. He said that the Nightmare Family is buried and Cody will never get this title back, which means no more open challenges, no more TV time for indie wrestlers, nothing. As he was saying this, the rest of the Dark Order were chanting, Cody sucks, you deserve it. Lee confirms that Anna Jay is officially joined the Dark Order. John Silver wanted to say that Lee was the man, but gets taken out by Lee. Lee said they were the hottest act in pro wrestling and he is the hottest champion in pro wrestling. And there isn't nothing that anyone can do about it. Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall attack them, but they are outnumbered. Scorpio Sky and Matt Cardona come out to even the odds. So that was it. And as a result of this, we are getting a 8-man tag at All Out, Dark Order versus Natural Nightmares, Scorpio Sky and Matt Cardona. Um,
Mhm.
but the about this whole segment, the main thing to notice here is that Dark Order they have brought their being the elite personas to TV.
Yes, yes. What they did with John Silver.
And I personally think this is kind of good because Now they can be entertaining heels plus a threat at the same time. And
Hmm.
this and I think this dynamic can work because you should also consider that you have someone by the name Chris Jericho who also does the same thing.
Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. If they have character consistency on both the shows, I have no problem with that. Most probably, these words which we discuss, they have heard them and they have heard them enough, and now it has finally happened. And now, with them having championship gold, it also gives them, you can say, leverage to experiment, to do shit, and also with fans being in the audience, in the, you can say, in the arena, that also gives them more leverage to try stuff and see that what works and what does not. A little bit of, you can say, yes, comedy here and there, and but mostly being serious, yes, that is absolutely fine. Consistency of the characters on both shows, no problem with that. Do that. I have absolutely no problem. Do
And
that.
and about this Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky, so they could potentially be the next in line for the TNT Championship. Mainly Matt Cardona because he is also the best friend of Cody.
Yes, yes. I agree. I agree. In the future, yes, I was seeing that maybe next person who is in line for the TNT championship is Dustin. Dustin would be fighting first. It seemed to be, if you saw the whole segment and the ending of the segment, it said that Brody Lee and, oh, sorry, Mr. Brody Lee and Dustin have some issues which they need to be sorted out. So most probably the first guy who is facing Brody Lee, either for the championship or otherwise, would be Dustin. After that, we can see Matt Cardona or and Scorpio Sky, because now Scorpio Sky is being groomed and uh, is going for a singles run. So no issues there. They would be in line for the championship in the future, obviously.
Yeah, so that was regarding the situation with the TNT title picture. Let's get back to the tag team title picture. So Hangman Page was being interviewed in a bar. He was asked why he cost the Bucks their match. Before he could even answer, the Bucks interrupt him. Matt asked if Page was insecure about facing them again.
Hmm.
Nick reminds him how he once called him a jobber, and he proved it tonight. Matt calls him a drunk and throws a drink into Page's face. Bucks then said if he doesn't want to be in the lead, then it's fine. So the Bucks said that Page is out of the elite. The Bucks leave, and that was it. So
Hmm.
we are possibly getting a emotional, quote unquote, emotional Hangman Page for his title match against a solid team like FTR. We shouldn't forget about Kenny Omega. So everything regarding this situation is making sense.
Hmm. Yes. So now they have just played into FTR's hand, basically hands. So FTR are in a better position with regards to uh, mentally and physically, and maybe on the skill wise, on the skill scale too, they are better. So what is going to happen, we can only just fathom. And also the friendship of Hangman Page and FTR being tested. Now, will he betray FTR as well? That is also a big question. He would probably not. So, what is going to happen? There is a lot of intrigue coming into the World Tag Team Championship match at All Out.
Yeah, let's wait and see.
Mhm.
Next, we had Big Swole. She was facing Reba and Penelope Ford in a handicap match. Britt Baker threw a stipulation. She said if Swole wins, she can have a match of her choosing against her. So this went about 3 minutes. Final parts of the match saw Kip Sabian. He tried to interfere, but he gets taken out by Swole. At one point, a referee was distracted when Reba tried to use a crutch on Swole, but she takes she accidentally takes out Ford instead. Swole takes out Reba, pins Ford, and that was it. So Swole will be choosing a match stipulation of her choosing against Britt Baker.
Mhm. Was it Penelope Ford or was it Penelope Cruz?
Penelope Ford,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Because AEW's website and social media were saying that Penelope Cruz is competing.
I didn't see that. Really?
You didn't see that botch. All right.
Oh, it was a botch, I think, in the graphics.
Yes, yes. There
Okay.
was mm, so, throughout the week, some days ago.
Oh,
So there's that. And with regards to the match, yes, it was just okay. They had to do it. Whatever they had to go through, basically. It was just, you can say, a match to the end game of Britt Baker and Big Swole having a match, basically. And now probably it is not happening at all out because the card is stacked. If it is happening, we would be getting the said information next week.
I can predict that it will be a last minute addition.
It could very well be. It could very well be. So
So,
there's
uh,
that.
right after this, the Dark Order come back
No,
to the
no, just
ringside.
wait. I would say this. Suprit's scouting report reaches AEW as the Dark Order offers Tayanara Conti to join their group because last week Suprit gave big props, big props to the performance of Tayanara Conti and Anna Jay
Mm,
in the women's tournament on YouTube for the
mm,
cup. So that has reached AEW, and that is what transpired on television this time.
mm.
That this segment aired on television, not on YouTube, on television. Thanks to
What,
Supreet.
what do you think about Tainara Conti or Taya Conti joining Dark Order now?
If it
Technically,
happens, some say that at the end, her face showed a little bit of uncertainty. She was hesitant. I didn't see any of that. But whatever happens, if she gets added, right now I don't see anything that what how they will go about that. But if they have some plans or they come up with some productive plans for them, Anna J and Taya Conchi, I have no issues with that. But if they are just gonna waste her, then it is a problem.
I think AEW will use her better than
Hmm.
what she was doing in NXT.
What was she doing in NXT? Basically, I want to seriously know.
Um, she did made her debut in the first Mae Young Classic. Then she did after that she did some more NXT appearance. Then she got signed, I guess. She did the second Mae Young Classic. Then she was being used as a enhancement talent, but slowly they were trying to push her, and
Mhm.
that was it of her in NXT.
All right. But with regards to her in-ring work, what is your take on that? Is she good?
Considering that she has not much of a wrestling experience because she was signed to a she has a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background. So
Hmm.
on that basis, she was signed to WWE.
All
Uh,
right.
I think she's still green in the ring, but she has shown that she can be great,
All right. All right. That's cool.
and she has some a certain charisma to her character.
Mm-hmm. All right. And now being in the Dark Order would also, you can say, add to her character and her, you can say, presence. So we would have to see what happens.
So, commentators go through next week's card. We have Moxley versus MJF's spokesman slash lawyer slash assistant. Santana and Ortiz versus best friends. Joey Janela versus Chris Jericho. Young Bucks and Jurassic Express versus SCU and Private Party. So, winning team faces each other at All Out, and I think it will be Bucks and Jurassic Express.
Hmm.
So let's quickly get into the main event. It was Sammy Guevara. He faced Matt Hardy in a tables match. So this went about 6 minutes, most of which happened during the commercial.
Hmm.
So it was explained that in order to win this match, you have to physically send your opponent through the table.
Hmm.
So Guevara got busted open at one point. So we saw a usage of a steel chair as well. Hardy wrapped a steel chair around Guevara's neck and almost broke his neck with a twist of fate. Hardy set up a table with a underneath it. Guevara was on the table. Hardy was taking his time getting up on the top rope. Guevara gets up and superplexes Hardy through the table, through the chair, and that was it. Big win for Sammy Guevara, considering he mostly would have lost this match, but it was a physical match nonetheless.
Yes. Uh, I also was a little bit, you can say, disappointed with this match because this was the main event and most of the action. Even when Sammy Guevara got busted open, it happened during the commercial break, in picture and picture. So yes, and also this was the main event. So either if I am just saying if some segment or match went long, this match suffered. Or if this was the allotted time, this was a match and everything was whatever it was supposed to be, it was not main event worthy. But yes, the fact that Matt Hardy was in that match and it was the first appearance of Matt Hardy in front of AEW fans in the crowd. So you can give that yes, it should be in the main event. And yes, the story was basically the non-folding chair being hit in the head of Matt Hardy by Sammy Guevara, which got him 13 stitches. And this was the first appearance of Matt Hardy in front of AEW fans in the crowd, so he had to impress the fans. Innovative twist of fate with the chair by Matt Hardy that was brilliant. It looked like he has broken Sammy Guevara's neck, as you said. Most of the match, that was the main problem. It happened in picture, the commercial break. Sammy Guevara won, no problem, via the superplex on the table, which was resting on the steel chair. No problem with that. But the fact that it was the main event and it most of it happened during the commercial break, yes, that hurts a lot. That killed the experience of the said match.
They could have added five more minutes to this match.
Yes, but yes, I agree.
But
I
but
agree with
like
that.
but like you said, I think the theme of this episode was the non wrestling segments took a lot of TV time compared to the actual wrestling.
Yes, but that you can say that makes the fans invested in your characters and in your show. So that goes long uh, in the long run, basically. So that is not a problem. But yes, if you are booking a main event, but the fact is, even if it was short, no problem. But the fact that most of it happened during the commercial break, the main stuff, the busting open of Sammy Guevara happened during the commercial break. You could have even at least given a replay of that. You didn't even do that. That was also a major, you can say, bad on your part. But it is what it is. Whatever happened, they would, you can say, learn a lesson from whatever happened, and from this day forward, they would be, you can say, producing and executing better.
Yeah, maybe next time they should consider cutting off some segments that go more than 10, 15 minutes and giving that time to the wrestling.
Yes, they could. I i agree. They could they could or you can say, time their commercial breaks in such a way that it doesn't hurt their programming. That also they can do, because mostly every segment whichever they had on this show, they had some or the other, they had importance every segment,
Mhm.
because you have to get fans invested in everything whatever happened. Because tag team gauntlet, you had to get fans invested. There were breaks. There was one break, I guess, in the midst. And with regards to the contract signing, you cannot put a commercial break in between. They both the guys had to put their points and get fans invested in their match for the pay-per-view. And then Butcher Blade, whatever happened, you have to get fans invested in the new group which has been formed. And Eddie Kingston is a great talent. He has to get on the mic, he has to share shit to get the fans in them, get invested in them. So everything had a little bit of here and there. So the commercials, yes, they have to get it right. They have to get some or the other thing right. Yes, at the end, yes. In the main event, commercials commercials were the problem. Commercials were the problem. Time management was a problem in the main event.
Post match, Orange Cassidy's music hit and he just launches over Chris Jericho on commentary. So we had a big brawl between the two as officials tried to separate them, and that's how Dynamite went off air.
Yes, that is a great way to end a TV show in chaos, in anarchy, basically. Orange Cassidy ambushes Jericho just out of nowhere. He was sitting at the announce desk, commentating, calling the action, and he was happy on Sammy Guevara winning the match. And just then, Orange Cassidy just launches himself, and then they have a brawl. They are officials. There is even Sammy Guevara, beaten, bruised, victimized, busted open. They try to separate Jericho and Orange Cassidy, but to no avail. They brawl on the stage back and forth, and it goes off the air with Jim Ross shouting that this match is going to happen at All Out, and we see you next time, next Wednesday. Yes, it is a great way to end the show. No, no qualms on that. Getting fuel
Yeah.
on the fire of the said feud, Mimosa Mayhem match.
Mhm.
It is great.
So before we go, so we will be not doing Dynamite review for next week. So why not do a early all out predictions?
Yes, why not?
So there. So the match that are officially announced are about 7 matches. So they are made official for the card. We have first up the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. So winner here gets a AEW World Title shot. So who do you got?
You're putting me on the spot first.
Yeah,
With regards to this match, we only right now know, I guess, uh, we know Darby Allin and we know Lance Archer,
we also have Team
and
Taz
yes,
and Eddie Kingston's crew.
mm-hmm.
And
So
mostly they will not be announcing everyone because they will keep some surprises.
all right. I was thinking because what my prediction is for the World Championship, I just went with my prediction for this match is Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Hmm. What is yours? Because I do not read rumors, I do not read Reddit, and so I am not going with anything beyond what is on the roster and what is making sense. So I am not going with any bizarre prediction.
Like you said, this will depend on the outcome of the AEW World Title match. So in that case, I'll be picking Lance Archer.
All right.
Um, Next we have, I think it will be happening, Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express.
Mhm. Uh, my prediction goes with uh, the people that I do not like, the Young Bucks. Basically, because if they are, and most probably they will be gunning for FTR in the near future. So I do not think that them losing would be happening or would be good for their momentum going forward. So the Young Bucks would be winning at the pay-per-view, and it also, you can say, adds to their credibility as being stars. Because if you are building stars and you have a promotion, because right now you are on national television, you are not in some indie promotion, because you have to win matches in order to gain a certain credibility and to be a star or a superstar. So getting victories makes you a star. So right now, Young Bucks winning is great. With regards to Jurassic Express, yes, they are the future stars. They can be built going forward. But right now, Young Bucks for the victory.
Even I'm picking Young Bucks to win this. So Dark Order versus Natural Nightmares, Scorpio Sky and Matt Cardona. I'm picking the babyface team, Sky, Cardona, and Natural Nightmares to win. Who you got?
I got the Dark Order because right now, uh, mhm, all right, Brodie Lee would not be obviously wrestling in this match.
Brodie Lee is
So
wrestling.
Brodie Lee is wrestling.
Yes. We
Mm-hmm.
have Brodie Lee. I think we have Colt Cabana and Grayson and Uno.
All right. I would go with the Dark Order because the fact is now you are building the team, but uh, why would the baby face? How would the baby faces get the match? Okay, I would go with the babyface team too because because then there would be a need and there would be, you can say, an opportunity which would uh, for the championship for any of the guys of the babyface team. So That is what would come out of that the said win. So yes, I would also go with the babyface team. I would retract my original prediction of the Dark Order.
Next up, we have Kenny Omega and Hangman Page defending the AEW World Tag Team Championship against FTR.
I'm going with FTR fair and square 100%. I do not see FTR losing in any shape or form right now. No, never. I
So
do not
after
see.
so after everything that has happened here with this current storyline feud, whatever you want to call it, I'm also going with FTR because they have to win. So I'm picking FTR.
Mhm,
Hikaru Shida, she will be defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Thunder Rosa.
mhm. The fact is that if Thunder Rosa gets the victory, she will be a double champion that I guess could hamper, you can say, or put down the stock of the AEW champion, AEW Women's Champion, who is right now Hikaru Shida, and that could, you can say, put down the uh, stock of AEW's women's division in general. So when the champions of the two promotions are fighting, so of of two different promotions and with one promotion's championship on the line, so I would play it safe. I would see Shida retaining the championship. Yes, it would be great news of Thunder Rosa winning the championship, and then obviously, uh, you can say, being on AEW television and fighting other girls of the roster. But Shida would be winning right now because it is a safe bet. But yes, I would want Thunder Rosa to be a part of the roster going forward, and also the other women of NWA could work with the women's division of NWA, AEW, because AEW's women's division, we know that is pretty awesome.
Um, yeah, like you said, Shida winning here would be a better choice, but
Yes.
I actually want Thunder Rosa to take the title because they could do something long term, I guess.
Yeah. Hmm.
But
I
still,
also want,
yeah.
but basically, I think that they would play it safe. Yeah, I also want, I agree with you.
So yeah, I'm picking Shida to actually win this match.
Hmm.
We have Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, Mimosa Mayhem match.
I would go with Chris Jericho and not quote unquote pockets, as Jim Cornette says and nicknames him. The fact is that Jericho has some legitimacy left, so basically he should not lose that by losing in the rubber match against Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is a star and he will have his fans behind him regardless of him losing to a top star, Chris Jericho, in one match now, or two matches even, but he has won a match. So it would not hurt so much to lose to a star like Chris Jericho. I would go with Chris Jericho for this one.
I'm actually going with Cassidy because Jericho losing a gimmick match like the Mimosa Mayhem would hurt his legitimacy, like you said. So in that case, I'm going with Cassidy.
Mhm. All right.
Finally, we have the AEW World Championship match. John Moxley will be defending the title against one MJF.
Hmm. Or EC3 Lite of 2015.
Yeah, you also can say that. So
um,
technically, odds are not in the favor of Moxley. So they could tell a story of him overcoming the odds. So in that way, I think I'm going with Moxley to retain. I believe one loss won't hurt MJF, and he still can get that AEW World Title whenever he wants.
mhm. I am so much confused with this match. I am also with both the guys that who is gonna win. But the fact is, I am going with MJF winning. That's that's what I'm thinking. I'm going with that. I'm going with MJF winning. Yes, I agree. Moxley winning would also not hurt so much. But the fact is, you have built MJF as a, I guess, top heel of your company, and he is, you can say, people say that, and many of the wrestling critics say that he is a great talent, and so he has, I guess, one blemish on his record, if I'm not wrong,
No, he is still undefeated in singles action.
in singles action. Yes, but yes, he has lost one match in, I guess, tag team or trios. No,
Yeah, that was in a tag team situation, I guess.
yes, tag teams did. Yes, so I guess his undefeated streak would stay. I just I just believe that.
So in that way, Moxley's undefeated streak ends. Then
Yes. Hmm. Moxley chasing is rather exciting.
yeah, you could say that. Let's
Hmm.
see. So those were our predictions for AEW All Out 2020. So you guys can also put your predictions in the comment section below. So Abby, before we leave,
Yes.
where can these guys find you?
Yes. Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Abimaniac, ABBYMANIAC. And you can also follow and subscribe to the action of Wrestle Square. Wrestle Square is an independent wrestling promotion in India. I work with them as a commentator and as an on screen authority figure. So you can subscribe to their official YouTube channel at Wrestle Square Pro Wrestling.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamHubW, Instagram at SlamHub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch SlamHub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. So this was the AEW Dynamite review, and we'll see you guys next time.